Hazel?
Barely more than one a year has been killed on duty throughout the country. Partly this may be because Britain's police are still normally unarmed, partly because very few police killers have ever escaped justice. When one of their own is killed, the police are even more determined to solve the case. Until after the Second World War, when guns became much more readily available in Britain, stabbing rather than shooting was the usual cause of death. The shooting of police was regarded with particular horror. 3 policemen in 1910, which led to the siege of Sydney Street, was still remembered as extraordinary. The other 2 come from the 1950s, when the use of guns was becoming more widespread. But some 30 years earlier, it was still particularly shocking when, in the early morning of the 27th of September 1927, the body of a local constable was found by the side of this lane in the flat countryside of Essex, northeast of London. P.C. Guttridge was lying on his back in the position marked by the bucket. He had been killed by 2 shots to the head. But more macabrously, his eyes had then been carefully shot out. It was reckoned that Guttridge had been dead about 2 or 3 hours, and this was confirmed by his colleague on a neighbouring beat who had met up with him at 3:30 in the morning. Guttridge appeared to have been surprised while taking down details, since there was no sign of a struggle and his pencil was tightly gripped in his hand. The first clue came that morning, when a blue Morris Cowley 4-seater was reported missing from a doctor's house about 10 miles from the scene of the murder. The car was soon found in Foxley Road in Brixton, South London, where it had been abandoned, blocking a narrow passageway. In the car was an empty cartridge case, and there were bloodstains by the driver's door. A pistol of a type which matched the case was later found in the Thames. But any hope that these discoveries might soon lead to a breakthrough proved false. After almost 4 months, the investigation seemed to have exhausted all its means. Then, on the 20th of January 1928, police in Lavender Hill in South London decided to call on a minor local villain whom they suspected of burglary and dealing in stolen cars. Frederick Brown owned a perfectly legitimate garage. Nonetheless, he seemed unusually shifty, and the detectives found a reason to search him. In his pocket were 12 cartridges. A search of his car produced a fully loaded Webley revolver. Brown's garage and flat were now taken apart. Carefully hidden were 3 more revolvers, ammunition, and a mask. Brown was unable to give the names of the men he claimed to be hiding the weapons for. Police decided it might be interesting to interview his colleague at the garage, an Irishman named William Kennedy. But Kennedy turned out to be in Liverpool, and local police were asked to track him down. When they did so, he tried to shoot his way out, fortunately forgetting to release the safety catch on his pistol before doing so. Brought back by train to London, Kennedy soon made